Drew Alba alongside manager of the Wall-to-Wall Suites, Colby Waterlow, for another edition of Countdown with Colby. Coach, we're here in Richfield. Your first time here, you told me, for the Suites.
Yeah, first time here for the Suites. I've been here to Ridgefield's Field before for like recruiting and different other events, but good setup. It's kind of fun. A little different going from Oregon State to here, so yeah, excited to be here.
Still a very nice ballpark, though, and there's lots of netting. That's the first thing I noticed, kind of covering all of the fans, making sure everything's well and protected here. And the Suites looking for a win against the Ridgefield Raptors. Fared well against Ridgefield your last time, and it was a long time ago, but do you kind of try to take some of that momentum here to Ridgefield?
Yeah, we've had success against the Raptors so far this summer. Obviously, a lot of time has passed, and I think both teams are different clubs in many ways. But I think, we are able to draw back on some of the success we had at home. Obviously, 3 wins the last time we saw them. So, yeah, hopefully we can keep that momentum rolling for the guys that were here when that happened. They're able to kind of draw back on that success that they had. And so, yeah, no, it's great to be on the field against them again. It should be a good matchup. Coming down the stretch.
Levi Anderson out on the hill. He's had some up and down performances. You look back to the Cowlitz performance. He goes 8 innings, doesn't give up a run. Since then, a little rocky. How does he tune back into that Cowlitz game and not the other ones?
Yeah, I think going into attack mode, I thought he was pitching freed up. I thought he was pitching confidently in Cowlitz, something that he's more than capable of, and kind of keeping that competitive edge for him. He's a guy that's, competes at a very high level, is a very competitive pitcher, and so I think drawing on that competitiveness and hey, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to take the ball, and I'm going to come right after him, make them try to hit my best stuff. I think if he can go in there with that mindset, he should get us off to a good start.
This isn't uncommon around the West Coast League, but you look at the Suites right now, I would say talent but inexperience kind of across the board. What do you tell your guys who maybe hasn't even had an at-bat in college facing some of the best pitchers in the entire NCAA to go out there and try to be ready for the moment?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just be on time and be ready to go when the ball's in the zone, right? If the velocity might be a little higher than maybe what some of these guys have seen, some of the stuff is a little bit better. You don't want to get buried in count, so you don't want to, you might only get 1 or 2 hittable pitches, hitters pitches in every single count. So it's really a situation where you can't miss them. You got to be ready to go when they show up, and so encouraging them to, hey, the game's the same. Be on time, be aggressive in the zone, and be ready to go when you're up there.
A pitcher's worst nightmare, I think, would be this ballpark. I came here, and I had to, rub my eyes. 301 feet out towards right field with the wind. Do you tell your guys, let's just put it in the air and hope good things happen?
We're trying to stay within our approach. It's for the lefties, it's continue to hit the ball hard. If we can hit the ball and elevate it on the pull side a little bit, good things I think are going to happen. For the right-handers, that wind is kind of working against them. So anything that's just pulled in the air is most likely going to be an out. So trying to stay in the middle, trying to stay hard on a line, gap to gap is going to be huge.
When you look at the Suites, playoffs still within a realm of possibility, but we're coming up to the point where wins have to happen now rather than ever. Does that kind of come through your mindset, or again, it's just a game at a time, be where your feet are?
Yeah, game at a time, trying to put our best effort out there every single time we step on the field. You can look back at the opportunities we've had in the past. We could have put ourselves in a different situation than we find ourselves now, but hey, this is where we're at, and this is the group we've got, and this is the situation that's in front of us. So all we can take care of is ourselves. We can't control what other teams do on the field later this week, and we can't control what other teams have done or what we have and haven't done already. So trying to be present to this. We've got 9 innings tonight to go out there and compete and try to get a win.
Let's bring this to our question of the day with manager of the Wall-to-Wall Suites, Colby Waterlow, against the Ridgefield Raptors. A pretty cool logo, pretty cool team name. So outside of the Wall-to-Wall Suites, what's the coolest name and logo in the entire West Coast League?
Like
Portland Pickles, obviously. I'm just joking.
I think the Harbor Cats is kind of a cool one.
Why is it called a Harbor Cat?
I think probably because it's on the harbor. I think that's like
What's a cat?
Well, I think it's like I don't know if it's a play on like seals or something like that. I'm not sure if that's a nickname. I'm just speculating here.
I don't know if it can be your favorite name if you don't know what it means, Coach.
Okay. Well, hey, you asked what's the coolest branding and logo that's out there, and
I'm just joking.
I think that Victoria. I like their uniforms and kind of some of the stuff they got going on, so it's cool.
How about the Gherkins, the non-West Coast League?
The West Coast, yeah, the Rosebuds, the Gherkins, yeah.
The Bellingham Bells is nice.
Bells are nice, yeah. That's another classic one here in the West Coast League, and kind of drawing on some of the former minor league Mariners, colorways and branding. So that's cool. Yeah, that's another good one. There's a lot of solid ones. Bend is a good one. The Elks, I think they have a cool logo, and their colors are kind of unique. So I feel like their colors are very reflective of Bend and kind of the outdoorsy scene and whatnot there. So that's cool.
But nothing tops the Walla Sweets, right?
It's classic. It's traditional. Yeah, I love it.
Hopefully a tradition in 2025 is the Sweets get another win against the Ridgefield Raptors. 3-0 against Ridgefield this season. Hopefully it continues here in Ridgefield. Thanks so much, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, Drew. Go Sweets.